Hi there. Welcome to the Healing Path. My name is Christina. Today, I would like to talk about the experience I had with healing chronic pain in my hip through a Vipassana meditation retreat. Now, a Vipassana meditation retreat is a pretty intense experience. And I want to say it was also life-changing, and I'm forever grateful that I went. So I am a very chatty person, and Vipassana is a 10-day silent meditation retreat where you don't talk. And I did that successfully. And with it, I was having chronic pain in my hip and low back. And I had been dealing with this pain for probably from the time I was like 43 until it healed at 48. I saw like 8 chiropractors during that time. And I think it was like a solid 5 years, that I was dealing with the majority of the debilitating parts of that. It did start to get better the last year or so, but it was still an intermittent problem. So it was slowly beginning to heal. But the biggest problem with my hip was this muscle called the psoas. So the psoas is a really long muscle, and it attaches, it has like 3 or 4 different pieces of it that split off. And one hugs the inside of your pelvis. They're different branches of this. So the main one, and it attaches to the front of your thigh, your femur bone, runs through your pelvis and attaches to your sacrum, which is part of your tailbone and spine, and then moves all the way up to the middle of your back, where your waist is, your last rib, which is your T12, the thoracic, T12, the 12th vertebrae. Anyway, this thing was so tight that it was pulling my leg up into my hip socket, and I had one leg shorter than the other, and I was just in so much pain, and nothing would let this thing release. And I tried stretching it. That was not the right choice. So stretching it caused it to tighten up even more, in my opinion. So what I really should have been doing is strengthening it. But what I needed to do is what I went and did. But I just didn't understand until it happened. So I had a friend of mine, a yoga teacher, who told me it was emotional. And I had a couple people tell me that. And I just thought they didn't understand what was going on with me. That was what I thought, like, whatever. Why would they say that to me? Like, tell me it's emotional, whatever. And they would be like, you're holding on to something. Like, so I kind of had an attitude like that, and I just kept coming from a complete physical standpoint. So in late fall of 2017, I decided at age 47, I had been dealing with this since I was 43, 42, 43. I'm going to go to a Vipassana silent meditation retreat because I had been not feeling satisfaction with my meditation at that point in my life. And I thought that I needed to learn different ways to meditate. So I was looking into these. And I just wanted to be quiet. I had just gone through really stressful 20 years of my life, raising kids by myself and dealing with a toxic relationship that I had been dealing with for like 11 years prior to that, and just a lot of things. And so I found myself in Mexico in the middle of nowhere. Valle de Bravo is what it was called, the town. I'm butchering how you say that in Spanish, but that's the best I can do right now. Anyway, I was in Mexico, and you could do this retreat anywhere. It's donation based, and you apply and you're approved or whatever. And then you go there and you can't talk to anybody. And they take everything away from you. And that's that. So I go and I can't sit on the floor. I mean, I'm doing that, but I'm not able to relax. And our meditation bell went off at like 4:30 or something in the morning, and we had to be in the hall by 5 or something. And so you basically just like got up, brush your teeth, and go to the meditation hall. And got up, pee, brush your teeth, go to the meditation hall. And then you just do that all day with like a handful of breaks. And then it was like 9 o'clock before we were done, 8:30 or 9 at night. So it was a lot of sitting. And the first several days were just focus on the breath coming in and out of your nostrils. So I couldn't relax. I couldn't sit still. I tried all the different ways to sit. And initially, I just couldn't stop falling asleep, which is a normal response of your nervous system. Um, but it's irritating to me. So I was having a hard time accepting that. And then I just couldn't get comfortable. And then I noticed that there were some people sitting in chairs on the back wall, right? And I was like, oh, I want to sit in a chair. So I had to request like a 5-minute meeting with my meditation leader teacher lady. And she gave me 5 minutes where all I could ask her was, I want to sit in a chair because I have debilitating back issues. And so they watched me fidget around on the floor that day and approved the next day for me, day 4, to sit in a chair. And I think this was a massive game changer for my my experience. I just had no idea though, right? So I am granted the chair, and I sit up against the wall in the chair, and we are finally going to deviate from just focusing on the breath coming in and out of our nose. We're going to learn the Vipassana. Vipassana is just the awareness of the subtle vibrations and energies in your body. I know that sounds crazy, right? But it's basically just drawing your attention to a little area. Like you start with this scan of a little rectangle on your crown of your head, and then you move over here to the sides of your head. You go all the way down little by little, and you just scan it and become aware, right? Well, immediately I'm falling asleep again. And that's making me mad because I've waited 4 days and spent 4 days not talking, being uncomfortable, and focusing on the breath coming in and out of my nose. And I'm just ready to learn the Vipassana, and I'm getting mad because I keep falling asleep. And so finally I yell at myself to stay awake, right? In my head, just so mad. And at that point, I don't know any other way to put it except that I may have had sort of an out of body experience at that point, that my brain just sort of took over. And even at the beginning of this, I was like, what's happening? Like there was like one part of my brain that was like, what's going on right now? And then the other part of my brain was like, shut up. You don't have time to be thinking about that. Scan. I was just like, and then I just left. I was gone. And for 2.5 hours, I was really not, I can't tell you what I did for 2.5 hours. I wasn't sleeping. I was not asleep. So, and I don't know how to explain that either, right? I just knew that I was there doing that, and I wasn't really a part of it anymore. And I didn't need to be woken up. I was not asleep, right? So at the end, they brought us out of this, and suddenly I'm more aware of what's going on, and my butt is asleep from not moving. And I don't know that I've ever sat still like that in my entire life. And I have ADHD, right? So like that is not in my book. It's not in my abilities to like, oh, sit still for 2.5 hours. Don't move your body. And also focus. But I did it, right? Anyway, after that, I felt really weird, and I was ready to go to the meditation or leave the meditation hall and eat. And we didn't get a lot. We just got fruit for dinner. And it's all just part of the whole thing. And so I didn't even want to eat my fruit, which is totally crazy and unusual. So I just took myself back to my room. And I flopped down on my back on my bed, and my right leg, which was the one that had the tight psoas that was always hurting and causing my back to hurt, was kind of hanging off the bed. And I, 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 I remember this little tear, like one little tear came out of my eye, and I was like looking at these wood beams on the ceiling. I'm just never ever forget this. And I was like, well, I don't know what my tear's about, but in the spirit of letting things go, I just feel so weird. I'm just going to take another breath and just let it all out. So I took another deep inhale and an exhale. And when I did, I was literally given this little picture in my mind. I didn't know what was happening, but it all happened at the same time. Like this image appeared in my mind at the same time that my hip looks like a rope, this muscle, and like it went click, click and released. And when that happened, my hip and my leg just ever so slightly moved because all of this was so tight, right? And no amount of massage or stretching was getting it to release. But being able for my body to be it was a combination of things. It dramatically changed how my hip felt. And my back, unbeknownst to me, started healing immediately because this muscle was pulling on my spine, and that's why my lower back was all jacked up, right? So I had problems with my SI joint, my L4 and my L5, SI joint L5 and L4. Those were the major factors in what was going on with my back, and it was causing a bulging disc. Um, anyway, all of that healed within 4 months. And it had been a problem, like I said, for years, but it was the beginning of this. And what happened was all these emotions came out, and it was deep sorrow for some choices that I had made 10 years before that had negatively affected my life and everybody close to me in their life. So I had relapsed from being sober 13 years and made a lot of really terrible decisions in the process and following this relapse. I am 19 and a half or over 19 years sober, not quite 19 and a half years sober now. So there's that. But anyway, I had all these feelings trapped in my freaking hip, and I wasn't letting them go. And because my body and nervous system felt safe enough in this place, I believe because of that and being ready to let it go, it let go. And man, I just can't even tell you how happy I am that I went through all of that. And it was really intense, but I cried for 5 days straight, and I almost left the meditation retreat. I did consider it seriously for probably an entire day. And the teacher told me later that I had an experience that many people come there repeatedly to experience, um, and uh, that I had a major release, and I just needed to continue to be present, and that this was part of the meditation work healing me. And man, that was life changing, right? So now I have another video that I'm going to post that explains some chronic pain that I'm now having in my wrist, and I'm paying attention, right? It's been going on for a while, but that's a whole nother video that I already talked about. So I just want to say that, first of all, if you have chronic pain or any problems like that with your back or your hip or your body in other areas, anywhere in your body, um, I don't know what your chronic pain issues are, but uh, most likely it's your body talking to you, and or emotions that are trapped that need to get out. And you can ask your body to tell you what it is. And it might not tell you right away, but eventually it's going to come out if you are seeking for that to happen, right? If you're open to that. And also, things can change. You don't have to accept whatever your chronic pain situation is about. And there's lots of ways that you can change your situation through diet, exercise, meditation, breath work, um, you know, strengthening exercises, and stretching. and energy healing. All of these things are the things that I have used to heal my own body and what I will continue to use and implement to heal my wrist. So, um, I just wanted to tell you my story. And one of the reasons why I'm such a fan of meditation is because it's changed my life. And I'm not a Buddhist meditating person. I don't right now. I haven't been meditating twice a day. I do a lot of different types of meditation, but awareness is what it is, and becoming aware and accepting things and reframing things to be in a positive and not being a victim and all these things. I mean, I could just go on, but there are a lot of ways you can help yourself. And some of them are simple, some of them are more challenging, and some of them you'll have to try a bunch of times before you conquer it. But I believe in you, and if you're interested in just more videos on how you can help your body feel better, you're in the right place. And I'd love to work with you either through my YouTube video. So please like it and subscribe for more if that's the route you choose. Maybe you want to work one-on-one with me. You can contact me through my video here, through my channel. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to have my website, but right now I have christinalong.com. You can go there and also contact me through there. Anyway, I love you. And I want to encourage you through whatever challenges you may be having today, and tell you that it doesn't have to be this way forever, and that many times things are temporary. And sometimes we just have to face it and deal with it, let it out, and move on, right? And do the things to help ourselves. Sometimes they're hard, sometimes they're easy, but we can do it, and you can do it. If I can do it, you can too. I hope you have a great day.